Mexican, if he was able to escape with such an elaborate scheme, okay, the bottom line is that they want to put him in a Supermax in Colorado. There's no way he's gonna escape from there.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Well,
yeah.
well, we crazy him with bad laws. The drug laws are bad laws. We need to. We're never going to solve the drug problem with guns and police and war machines. We need to solve it through as a medical problem, which it really is.
Right.
And we start waking up and saying that, and getting rid of the war on drugs, and make it it's an addiction problem, and we need to answer through America waking up that we're going to do it through the medical system rather than a war system.
And it'd probably be cheaper doing that than putting him in jail anyway.
What worked for...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people working on that now. I mean, that's the direction we need to take.
It's crazy what we're doing. What do you think of Trump?
Oh, it is. Well, he's very entertaining.
Well, that's for sure.
He's got a lot of
personality.
He's got a lot of Americans. He's got a lot of Americans thinking.
That's right. They're all riled up.
Hopefully, I would wish you would. I myself, I'm a Bill of Rights activist. The Bill of Rights is the strength of American exceptionalism, the strength of our liberty and our freedom. And I wish you would push more on that and say we need to get back to the Bill of Rights. And if he said that, I'd probably vote for him. But he doesn't really get into the Bill of Rights as heavy as he should, because that is American exceptionalism.
Well, I wonder, how much of this is he learning as he goes? Because let's face it, he isn't a politician. He's not a lawyer.
Right.
He is a very bright businessman. Okay.
Right.
And I'm sure that when he went to military school, he learned an awful lot about history. So, the bottom line is, and he's also mellowed his rhetoric. Okay, if you remember from back at the first debate, he was yelling and screaming and putting everybody down. Okay, and that's why people weren't taking him seriously.
Well, they did take him seriously. That's why he's.
No, they didn't at first, but now, he's sort of there's more substance to his arguments. Okay, he's thinking a little bit before he talks. He still makes.
Yeah, I think. And as a businessman, he's starting to learn. And if he would only pick up the Bill of Rights, one thing I'm proud about him is that I sent him, and probably a lot of people sent him about guns rights.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent him a thing about gun rights, and he got out and said that, the gun-free zone is bad. This gun-free zone is a soft zone. So, I'm very proud of him for that. That he came out and stood up and said the gun-free zone got to go. Soft target.
I'd love to.
So therefore, he's starting to see, when he sees something and people point it out to him, he's willing to act on it.
Well, he's listening. I don't think his mind is. I don't think his mind is 100% set on everything, and
you know what I don't understand.
And he's also not getting pushed by certain groups because he's not taking money from anybody, so he can just do what he wants.
Yeah, and the thing is, he can afford to pay for all the airtime that he's getting for free, because every time he holds an event, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they're all covering it, and he's getting all this free publicity.
Yeah, right after.
Because everybody wants to hear what he has to say.
Right after the debates. Who are they talking to first? Him. Every station was talking to him first before they spoke to anybody else. Before the debates, they talked to him. You know.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why, I happened to say to the Rev here, I said, I was glad to see that in yesterday's debate, they didn't go to him for the first question. His was like the fourth question that they asked. Okay, they raised the point and they went to a couple of the other people and then they went to Trump. Okay, which I thought was great because this way nobody's fashioning their answer around something that he said.
So the other thing was that today I heard the RNC today publicly said, "Let's get Trump out of there."
Well, yeah, they want to get him out of there.
Yeah, but
And Trump wants to do what he thinks is good for America. And I truly believe that. And there's no calling for him. But I tell people there's no way. I don't know if I think I talked to you back in around September, October, and I said there's no way he's going to get the nomination. He's not going to get the nomination.
We all thought that back then.
50%. He'll never get to 50%.
Well, now you don't know.
There's the establishment and the media will not let him have it.
Well,
and we can hope that the people would vote and do it, but I think there's just too much power to stop him.
Well,
and it's not going to happen.
Hey, listen,
but it is getting more realistic.
The good old boys are getting worried because basically, he doesn't need them. He certainly doesn't need them for money. Okay, he could run his whole campaign and pay for it himself,
which he's doing.
Well, up until now, so far.
He is doing that. But the fact of the matter is, most of the people in the United States, because you're 47% of the people already want Hillary, because that's just how the people are. They're all on subsidies. They're all on whatever. And the Democratic Party is pretty powerful. The media doesn't want them, and it's just a small percentage of probably about 30% of the Republican Party wants them. But 30% isn't going to get you in. It's not going to get it done.
Well,
I'm realistic. Trump is not going to. I tell people, if you think Trump's going to get the nomination, you're drinking the Trump Kool-Aid. It ain't going to happen. I would be amazed if it happened. And, and I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, Trump, you wait and see. I was like, well, I'll wait and see, but I don't think it's going to happen, man.
Well, they came up with a poll today.
I've seen too many re-elections already, and Trump's not going to get it.
Well, the latest today poll was that 65% of the Republicans now say they will vote for him.
Right.
No, it's not 65%. Yeah, there's no way. 35% is the highest he ever got.
It just came out today. It came out today, 65%.
It did.
No. That was. That's one poll, but I'm talking. There's
right.
Tons
it was.
Of polls
it's one
there.
poll.
And I'll talk to you guys again. Understand Trump's, and I'm telling you, you guys are really mistaken if you think Trump's going to get it, because he's not. Okay.
Well, that's what Jeb Bush keeps saying. He keeps saying Trump is not going to be the nominee. Well, I certainly hope.
I don't see D.C. I call it the district of corruption as our answer anyways. I work for nullification, and our state nullification is a very powerful tool. And then 50 states got to stand up to D.C. and put D.C. back in the box where it belongs in a limited government. It's got out of the box, and it's huge. But we need to get the states' rights activists and the people going and start nullifying D.C. laws.
I don't think
it's happening around the country.
I don't think
it's... And to me, that's it. But Trump, I hear what you're saying. Trump just ain't going to get it. And I know it's, reality's hard to accept sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, you said you didn't think it was 65%.
So let me
just say, it's the same poll that said he was only going to get 31% that came up with the 65%, just so you know. It wasn't a different poll.
Well, you know what? I'll call you guys in a couple of months after the votes start coming out, and I'll say, see, he's not getting 65% of the votes. He's like 30, 40%.
Ed, let me ask you, aside from Trump, if you voted Republican, okay, who would you like to see as a standard bearer from
Well,
the people who are left?
I'm for limited government, so I'm for the founders. I'm for the Bill of Rights. As a Bill of Rights activist, I would like to see, probably of the whole group up here, Rand Paul first.
Well, Rand Paul,
and then after Rand Paul, it's kind of a toss up, flip a coin between Cruz and Trump. I'm not a big fan of either of them, but I'm not that, compared to everything else out there.
Yeah.
I could possibly handle one of those two.
Well, I
if
think
they put a good platform on.
I think the rank and file would sooner see Trump than Cruz. They really hate Cruz.
Yeah, well,
one of the things they said about Cruz is that you can't.
Yeah,
Trump,
and Cruz is getting, but Cruz is pretty much of a constitutionalist too. So
yeah, he is.
I mean, I kind of like him. I like him, but I don't know. Again, and we put too much on the executive branch too. We should be looking at Congress and getting Congress to downsize D.C., which they're never going to do. That's why I don't even look to the executive branch or the congressional branch to do the job. I look to we the people and the Ninth and Tenth Amendments to take over. The Ninth and Tenth Amendments are very powerful tools, and we can nullify and ignore D.C. and bring power home to our local communities.
But what majority of the states do you need?
What's that?
What majority of the states do you need?
You guys focus too much on centralized power. I'm talking about decentralized, Jeffersonian. We're talking about like Oregon and Colorado said, hey, we're not putting people in cages for the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act anymore. We legalized it here. These are the kind of things we're going to start making our own currencies. We're going to use hemp for currencies. We're going to bypass the Federal Reserve, and we're going to bypass the federal government.
You really can't do that because with the way people travel...
we are doing that. I mean, it's not that we can't. We are doing that.
No, with the currency. You really have to have one currency, okay?
No, you don't necessarily have to have one currency. When this country was founded up until 1913, and even past 1913, we had
the gold
competing
standard?
Currencies. We had competing currencies throughout the first 150 years of this country.
Well...
And we can have competing currencies. And that's a big battle there, too. They have you believing that there has to be only one currency, but there has been the first 150 years of this country competing currencies.
Well, there wasn't as much international trade and all that now.
Right. There's also that, too. I mean, there's a lot of... There's Bitcoin out there. There's trading...
I think, hello?
We lost him.
We just lost him.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 10:15.
Oh, he's calling right
there
back.
There he is.
Oh.
That was quick.
Hey. Yeah, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, you there?
Yeah,
yes,
we're here.
We
Can
are.
you hear us?
Okay, I don't know what happened. I must have lost signal there, but I'm on a cell phone. But anyways, yeah, there's competing currencies. The country grew up on competing currencies, and there's nothing wrong with competing currencies. And, that's what we need to reinstitute in this country. But it's hard because when you have one currency and you have a currency that dominates both parties, and that's what gets us the district corruption we have today because they're all bought and paid for.
Also, listen, you get into... Once you get into Congress, you don't want to get out, and that leads to the corruption. Politicians get spoiled very quickly with all the benefits they get.
Oh yeah, it's so corrupt there. It's ridiculous, and they just go beyond overboard.
Well, if they did a survey,
my net battle was never economic. My battle is liberty. Because to me, we're economically spoiled. When I think of the people that came before us and what they did and stuff, we got it too easy. We got a lackadaisical life here in the United States.
Well,
But we can't be caging human beings for growing a hemp plant. It's ridiculous. That's